We're hearing heavy anti-aircraft gunfire, as we heard last night, and seeing tracer rounds, anti-aircraft tracer rounds, fly up into the sky. This started about 2 or 3 minutes ago. These heavy anti-aircraft fire coming from a similar position that it was coming up from last night when we heard missiles crash into the city. And as a consequence of that, we saw anti-aircraft gunfire fired up. We're seeing that those same tracers in the last couple of minutes fly up, hearing that heavy anti-aircraft gunfire. It's gone quiet at the moment. Those guns have stopped shooting at the moment. We can hear some smaller guns firing at this time. Oh, there it goes again. More tracer fire shooting up into the sky, coming from at least a couple of different weapons, it appears, because there's a couple of different streams going up into the sky as I talk to you here.
Let's just listen, Nick. It appears to have stopped, actually. You could hear it clearly in the background there. You were saying anti-aircraft fire, so it's outgoing. Is there any indication you've seen of incoming?
I don't know if you could hear that, but that was the gunfire going up into the sky.
I don't know if you could hear.
Yeah, you're looking at the skyline now. The gunfire tracer rounds were flying up over those trees. There they go again.
Yeah, Nick, I was asking if there's any indication that you've seen of incoming fire to be the cause of that outgoing.
I'm not aware of it at the moment. We haven't heard any of those sort of heavy crashing bangs that we heard last night associated with the incoming missiles. But the heavy anti-aircraft gunfire that we're seeing now was fired and appeared to be triggered by an attack last night. Perhaps on this anti-aircraft gun position that's firing now, they believe there is an attack coming, or one is imminent, and that's why they're firing at this time. But we haven't heard any loud explosions. The explosions last night were towards the east of the city. There seemed to sort of be two separate attacks within the space of about 5 minutes last night on the city, at least 2 or 3 missiles falling in the east of the city at a military airbase along the coastline in the east of the city. We're listening now, and we can continue to hear this heavy gunfire going off here. So at this stage, Michael, it's not clear to us what is exactly being targeted at the moment, but the gunfire is still going off.
Yeah. Nick, any sign of anything from the government in the last hour or more?
There's no response to this particular incident that we're witnessing right now from the government. We were expecting to hear from an army spokesman and a foreign ministry spokesman shortly, but at the moment that press conference that was outlooked perhaps half an hour ago hasn't begun. I'm not sure if it'll be held back because of this current situation, but it certainly appears the way that these anti-aircraft guns are being fired into the sky right now, it certainly appears that this anti-aircraft battery, and it appears to be perhaps 2 of them in that direction we're looking, seem to think that they may come under attack. They seem to think that there's something they need to shoot at in the sky right now, Michael.
Yeah. Nick, I'm wondering if you've been able to ascertain exactly what sort of targets there would be around the capital itself. And obviously the anti-aircraft emplacements have been the targets of the initial barrage of missiles that came in from the sea and of some of these aircraft runs by the coalition. Tripoli itself well defended, as we know, along the coast there near Tripoli. There's an impressive battery.
There are some locations around the city that are well defended. Certainly around the palace where we believe Muammar Gaddafi is reported to live. There are defences there, and there are defences around the military bases, the military airfield. But in general, there are not many heavy anti-aircraft guns or weapons or even much military presence deployed in and around the city. Certainly there are people on checkpoints with AK-47s, but not a heavy military presence per se, Michael.
Yeah. And Nick, as we go forward here, what is your sense around the city? I know it's been very difficult, and you've mentioned this to us before about the difficulty of getting any real access to real people, if you like. Is there any way you've been able to ascertain what the mood there is like, as opposed to where Awa is in Benghazi, which, of course, is massively anti-Gaddafi? Are you getting any kind of clue from contacts?
Well, the people that we've been able to talk to so far, and there are people who talk to us here and who tell us of their concerns. People are not necessarily supporters of the government, and they tell us of their concerns about the situation. They're concerned because they're not sure what's going to come next. Their families are scared. Their children are scared, and this gives them a great cause for concern. But there are obviously a lot of people here who are strongly behind the government, and they're telling us that this is going to strengthen Muammar Gaddafi's leadership, that people are falling in behind him. But I think the overall feeling we get that this is not something this country has experienced before. They haven't witnessed, the 2 million people in this city haven't witnessed these type of aerial attacks and the heavy anti-aircraft gunfire firing up like this in anything other than celebratory gunfire. So this is uncharted territory, and people are very nervous about it. It's certainly going to cause a great deal of concern in this city with this anti-aircraft gunfire going up tonight, even if people don't know why it's being shot or have not heard any loud explosions.